No sound or picture.
Okay, now we're live.
Okay, guys, can anybody hear us and see us? Please quickly let us know. We've just been speaking for a few minutes, and it seems that we weren't actually live yet. So apologies for that. We are living in a third world country, and which means that I have no computer skills, and it's not the server, it's me. I'm sorry.
Okay, but I can see now. I can see now it's happening. So we should.
Okay, cool.
We have live feed. I can see that. Linda, thank you so much. I can see we've got live feed. So once again, hi everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Cool. Yeah, thanks so much everyone for being here. Nadia and
Katja.
From
you know my
OCN.
name.
It's been a crazy couple of days and a very big build up to cutting the line. This is why we're having this chat today. We did our big local premiere on Thursday night when the movie just went live. We had about 120 people there. We had friends and family coming in from all over, and it was an awesome event. It was really the response from our side was overwhelming. People really seemed to enjoy it, and the big takeaway for me at least was that people were happy to see to get a bit of an insight into the backgrounds of our operation and a little bit of the family life and a bit more about the team.
Yeah. So just before we actually get started and we talk about the movie and what we were trying to tell you with the movie and what response we've received in the last few days, we just want to let you know that our team is here. They're sitting here. Tony, Denzel, and Angela are all here. So if you've got specific questions, they're all ready to jump in and answer that as well.
Yes.
So we barely managed to push the go live button. So we are not techy enough to set this up with the different screens. Maybe next year we get there, but right now this is as far as we can handle it. But if you've got specific questions, please post them in the comments. Nadia will do most of the talking, but I'll monitor the comments. Everybody in the team will monitor the comments. And if you've got something specific, just let us know and we get the person to talk here. And as you all know, that includes Denzel, because the feedback that we've received so far, people are really happy to hear Denzel talk so much in front of the camera. So if you've got any specific questions, he's very happy to answer them.
Many people thought he was mute, and they were very surprised to hear that he could actually talk. So it was another good takeaway from the film. So let's get to any questions.
Yeah. So we will talk a little bit about seal rescues in general, but we would generally like to stick to cutting the line as much as possible. We're already getting a whole bunch of questions here given to us by the team. The very first question I'm getting here, Nadia will answer that. The first question is there still time to see cutting the line?
So yes, initially the plan was to make the film available for 3 days only over the following World Oceans Day. And it seems now that there might be a little bit of an extension afterwards that we made available for a little bit longer on the Vimeo platform. And just to take it back, if anybody hasn't heard our explanations, you see, from our side, we are actually just the subject of this film. It's not actually our movie. We're not in control of this movie. It's collaboration between us, Now Media, and Plastic Oceans. And the plan is for this to get this film seen by as many people as possible. And through that, the idea is then to get it onto a network or something like Netflix, Amazon, or something like that eventually. But the process to go through that needs to go to a lot of film festivals where these networks then shop for things like this. And to be eligible for these film festivals, the film cannot actually appear for free anywhere before. It's not. It's a criteria that these films may not just be shown publicly, because the festivals won't want to take them. So there's a little bit on our insistence that we really want to give people the opportunity to see it. We are really we are sorry that people have to pay for it, but this is just the process we need to go through in order to get we want people to hear our message, and this is the best way to get as much out of it as we can.
Okay, let's head over to the next question. I hope you can see that. So the question is, or it's more a general comment. We love to hear Denzel and would love to hear some Wally and Cat too. Thank you for the nice feedback on the documentary. Thank you so much. Now Wally and Cat. Wally and Cat, unfortunately, are not part of OCN anymore. Of course, nothing happened, and they're sorely missed in our team, unfortunately. But Cat and Wally went back to Iceland. Cat is from Iceland originally, and they wanted to go back. So a couple of weeks ago, they both climbed on a plane and went back home, and they're doing both very well there. And they were very heartbroken that they missed the whole documentary. I mean, they are a massive part of everything we've achieved in the last 3 years, and it's very sad that they didn't actually get to celebrate with us now. So yeah, unfortunately, they're not part of OCN anymore, but you will still see them a lot in the videos. We've always, the daily rescue videos that we upload, we always work quite a bit in advance. So there are a lot of videos still coming from the past years. So you will still get to see them for a really long time. Yeah, and otherwise we're just happy that they're doing well where they are, and and we miss them. Okay.
We get quite a bit of this, just basically coming back a little bit to what we were saying earlier. Will it come out in DVD or digital for downloading? This is a very early release of the film. The film is the final product, but it will be at some point. It will definitely be available. We just can't say right now when that'll be, but yes, it will be available for downloading, and that you can keep your own version of it. We're just not sure when. Again, it is unfortunately out of our hands, which we're also quite grateful for. We are kept pretty busy with the seals and doing our OCN thing, and we are quite happy to not have to deal with all of that on top of what we're doing.
Okay, the next question, or also again more a comment. It should be shown in schools and sent to every government in the world. Yes, I think we all agree. It would be great if we get to that point. It's also unfortunately not in our power. What we can do though is make a plan here locally in Namibia. So we do have a hard copy of the movie, and we will approach the schools and show the movie as much as possible. It's always easiest to start with the children. They are the most interested in it, and also they are, as we expand in the movie, they are the ones who have to clean up the mess anyway. So it's a good idea to start with that. And we will definitely make that happen. We're going to get a projector, and then we're going to probably get a team just for that, just people who will travel through the country and just make sure that all the kids get to see that. And we've done that a few times before, that we went to schools and showed them just the normal rescue videos, and it's always really nice. We bring the rescue net along. We bring a couple of entanglements so the kids they can feel it, they can imagine what this actually feels like, and there's an amazing amount of compassion coming from their side. So we definitely feel that is something that we need to look into, and we honestly can't wait to do that. It will be very effective. I've got no doubt. Okay, let's see, what other questions have we got? There's one question about new team members. I can't find it in the comments now. Yes, we've got a new team member. Jason, he's not here this evening, but he started with us a couple of weeks ago. He's on the social media side, and you've probably seen him on some of our social media posts, and he will also be part of some of the rescues, but he's going to be more office-based. We do have an opening in the rescue team that we will have to fill, because at the moment we are a little bit understaffed. Before we now get a lot of applications, it's going to have to be local. We will not be able to get any work permits. It's very complicated to get them here in Namibia. So unfortunately, we can't take volunteers so easily. So it will definitely be somebody Namibian, and it's also the right thing to do. We can't complain about conservation not being bigger and not getting more attention in the country, and then we just look internationally for staff. We need to train people up locally and bring this whole subject to everyone's attention right here. So yeah. Okay, what else have we got? Another thing. Subtitles have come up here in the comments. We also can't find it right now, but Somebody's asking about the subtitles. So we're not actually quite sure what happened. Just to explain, Cutting the Line, we are the subject of the movie, but we don't actually own the movie. We didn't make the movie, and we didn't edit the movie. We didn't upload it to any of the platforms. So it's a lot of the things that are happening with the movie are not in our power, and that is sometimes very frustrating. But at the same time, we're also really glad that we don't have to deal with a lot of those things. So subtitles, there were supposed to be subtitles in various languages, but it seems like they have not been uploaded as was originally planned. Plastic Oceans is in charge of all those things, and it's very difficult to communicate because they're sitting on the other side of the world. So we're always sitting with time zone issues. So by the time that we are made aware of issues, we have to wait half a day for everyone to be available on the other side. And then they reply, and then it's again half a day until we get it. So it's been not so easy. It's something we will all learn from that, and it's been, we're so grateful that they stepped in and they financed a huge part of this project. So we're really, really grateful for everything they've done. All the rest at the stage is, in our eyes, just things that we can still figure out. We apologize for everyone who expected to have subtitles this week, because we've been telling you there will be subtitles. And we actually made promises that we didn't keep, and I'm really sorry about it. And we will try our best to fix this issue. We are well aware that not the whole world is English speaking. I mean, our whole team is very international here too. So it would be really nice to make it available and a lot more inclusive to everyone. Yeah. So how many people have watched Cutting the Line? That's the next question that's coming up here.
We do not actually know. It's a little bit, there's no sort of live ticker like we've got on here or on any other of our videos. That needs to go sort of into the settings from the administration side. We get feedback every once in a while. So we're hoping hundreds of millions. It is probably a little bit expectant, but we're not sure yet. Actually, we're actually really excited to know. We've even got little in-house bets amongst ourselves to see on expectations about how many people have watched it.
Then the next question here. Are you planning to submit the movie to some film festivals?
Yes, there's a huge list of film festivals that that have been submitted to. We are very excited to see where all it'll go. We've got a confirmation from a couple of them, including the Jackson Wild Festival, which is really cool. It's a little bit like the Oscars for documentaries, for nature documentaries. And so the submissions are all in, and it's still a bit of a waiting period to find out where it's been accepted. But there has been a few very positive responses. We actually haven't been turned down for any yet. So we're very hopeful to see where this will actually go.
Okay, there's more a general question about OCN. What are each of the countries that you are all from? So we are a little bit international. From Namibia is Jason, our new team member, Nadir, Denzel, and Angela. And the only foreigners in the team is actually then Antoine. He's from France, and I am from Germany. Yeah, so we are actually. Sorry, there's some very unqualified comments from the side. Would you like to join the discussion here? So Denzel is going mute again. Whatever you wanted to say, I didn't catch it. We will work on that for the next time. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we've got here. Which one do you want, Nadia? The local resistance. Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Do you ever encounter local resistance to your work from fishers or big fishing companies?
Not directly, no. We not supposedly. I mean, we sometimes get call-outs about entangled animals from fishermen, and sometimes when we try and help this particular animals, other fishermen will say, "Why are we doing this? We're wasting our time." But nothing. There's been no threats or anything dangerous like that. It's been no like open animosity to us. I'm sure a lot of people feel that the work we're doing is not very necessary because of all the seals. But again, we're doing this as a welfare thing. We really love the seals. We hate to see them suffer. And I mean, there were a lot of fishermen at our screening the other night, and everyone came back, and a lot of people just have no idea about what's actually happening down there. And movies like this are bringing this all to light now. So no, I wouldn't say we're getting like blatantly aggressive feedback from anyone really.
Okay, there's another good question. Is watching rescues common during kayak tours?
From time to time, they so we don't mix the two. The kayak tours are kayak tours, but the area we're doing the rescues is also where we do our kayak tours. So from time to time, if there are seals near the kayakers that need to be rescued, it's normally not going to stop us. We'll just warn the guides that we're going to be going into the seals. There'll be some seals running into the water, and people get the chance to see a rescue firsthand. But it's also not. It's never a guarantee. It's not a reason to particularly to come kayaking. It's just if you want to come kayaking, it's because the seals are really awesome to kayak with, and it's a lot of fun just to be out there, whether there's a rescue or not.
What is really nice when the kayak tours are, when the kayakers are out there, and not just our business, there are others there too. If they see entangled seals, they will usually let us know, and that's obviously great. So we've got some extra eyes and ears out there. So that's great. It's helpful because if you don't know where they are, we can't help them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there are a lot of questions here that are not necessarily related to the movie, but it's fine. We're live here. We are happy to answer all the questions. It's not a problem.
Okay. How do we choose what tools we use? It's basically every rescue is different. If we can identify when we first spotted the seal, what is wrong with it, if it's a strap or fishing line, we know we can get away with just our scissors. If it's something a little bit more technical, like a hook in the mouth or in the flipper, we know, okay, we actually need to take a whole separate our toolbox with all the accessories in it, and then normally we would have we have someone waiting in the car to follow to bring that to us. And it's just it all depends very much on the actual rescue at hand. If we know if there's a line, anything near the face, we know, okay, it's going to get a lot more technical. We potentially need a lot more tools. And so we try to keep ourselves as light as possible. We normally just keep our scissors on us because that can normally cover 80-90% of the rescues we have to do.
Okay, there's another question that might be a good question for Tony to answer. Mm-hmm. That happens when you don't pay attention. Then it's like they always call me the principal, and that's what's happening here. So dear, will you make space for Tony, please? Yeah, it's happening.
Tony's going to answer these.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the question that I put out there. Okay, so hi Tony, nice to see you here. So the question is, do you see an increase in entanglements or the same level over the years? So the reason why we would we'd like Tony to answer that question is because he's the one who's dealing with the stats. In the videos you probably sometimes see him, or in the post you see him, on a cell phone logging entanglements. So he's the one who's got access to the data, and he keeps us updated. So tell us what's been happening.
So we were ahead of last year, unfortunately. I mean, we are actually on 250 rescues for the year so far. And we got this number, I think, in July last year. We believe that the pups are quite adventurous very early this year, and this is the consequence of that. So yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so what kind of entanglements do we encounter? Is that different? Is it the same?
No, it's always the same. Basically, there's no progress. There is no difference. It's always number one is recreational line at the moment. Then comes packing strap, ropes, commercial line. We have a really big increase in commercial lines for 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, crazy.
So we to give you an idea, we managed to put 240 entanglements in one plastic bag, and now in the last 2 weeks we might have got 30 snook lines, and the second bag is almost full already. So it's a lot of lines, a lot of entanglements. It's easier for us to spot, but this is the only good thing about that, unfortunately. I can see here, is there a tally for the dead entangled seals? We found one dead entangled seal this year. Last year it was 4. It's always painful to see that. It's always a shame because we believe we didn't do our job very well. So yeah, maybe there was a chance to spot this animal before.
Okay, there's another question, and then I will release you, I promise. What is the craziest rescue you've had? Do you have
the craziest?
Yeah, not necessarily your favorite or best, but the one that was probably the most out of the ordinary.
I would say the whale. I mean, this was
Fair
the
enough,
most
yeah.
out of the ordinary, and actually, if you watch the movie, you can see it.
Okay, thank you. That's why we do the live session so little.
Somebody put Denzel now.
Okay, let's get to the next question. In the film, Nadir was talking to a bunch of children sitting on the beach. Are the children receptive to the message?
Absolutely. We try and do as much school outreach as possible. It is in our future plans to get a whole education program going. A few little hiccups in the way still on that, but no, we love working with children. They are so much more receptive than adults. They really get into it and see the same kids weeks, months later, and they'll come running up and say, we're doing this when we go to the beach, we're collecting rubbish. And no, we feel that is the absolute future. They're the ones that the mess we're creating is being left behind for them. And unfortunately, they're going to be the ones to deal with this. So they need to be our main target audience, we believe.
Okay, another great question here. How do you expect the movie to change your working environment? More education, better enforcement of laws by the Namibian government? How would you like the movie to impact the way you guys work? Jo, that's a very big question. We hope, our hope is that this movie reaches a different audience, a new audience. We've got a good following on social media as it is, but it would be great to reach new people, because there are a lot of people who are simply not at all aware what's happening in our oceans. And it's very understandable. It's far away. Everything happens below the surface. So it's easy you don't even have to look away, because you would have to actively look for it. So how's it going to change? The question about better laws is a difficult one, because to be honest, the laws are already in place. This littering is not allowed. It's not legal to just leave your rubbish in the ocean. So we don't need better laws. We need better enforcement. So that is a massive issue. We need better enforcement, and for that, the government needs to not only generate funds, but they also just need to generate a little bit of awareness among the government officials themselves. The people who can actually change the situation. They need to understand that this problem is real, and that down the line, through microplastics, it will affect all of us. And that's what we're doing. We are not changing policy in any way. We are running basically a very big awareness campaigns. We're providing the imagery, we're providing the facts, we are providing a daily reminder of what's happening out there, and that is our contribution. So if we can reach a wide audience through this movie, we will be incredibly happy. That's we've got no commercial interest in the movie. We just want it to be circulated as far and wide as possible. We're very proud of the movie. It's been in the making for a long time. There's a lot of back and forth between the producers and us, so it wasn't always an easy process. It's also a lot of the things that we're talking about in the movie are very personal, and to see yourself talking about those issues, it's not easy. But we believed if we can show the something authentic and real, that would hopefully engage the viewers as much as possible. Is that about right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. There's a good question. Yeah, you can answer that.
Yeah. So is your work done in seasons? Yes, we definitely do have a rescue season. So basically our rescue season is very much controlled by breeding season of the seals. In about October, we start slowing down a lot, because the female seals are very pregnant. By early November, the first seal pups will come, and then we're down to almost no rescues. We'll patrol around. We'll see if there's any very isolated entangled seals. It's a very difficult time for us, because we might see animals, but by rescuing one, we could inadvertently have pups crushed by other stampeding seals. So until about mid-January, end of January, there's very few rescues done unless they're very opportunistic. And then, as Tony mentioned earlier, now is the time when, so February, March, April are generally very slow months, but by about May, June, the pups start getting to an age where they get very exploratory, very inquisitive, and they start picking up the rubbish. So now, literally from about the 20th of May, we've just been boom, straight into rescue season. It's from one day to the next. It's just gone from 1 or 2 rescues a day to sometimes 18 rescues a day at Pelican Point. So no, it is very seasonal for us, definitely.
Okay, no, Nadia lost that comment. That's a very, very good question. Would you ever consider having a second OCN base up north? That is a very good question. We get that question a lot. Would it help to have more rescues out there? So why aren't we?
Yeah, so up north it's very difficult. It's in the national park. If we were allowed to access all the colonies in Namibia, remember Pelican Point and a little bit to a small extent Cape Cross are the only colonies we can actually access. Most of them are in national parks. If we had access to all of the, like open access like we do to Pelican Point at the other colonies in Namibia, then yes, we would have more teams out there. At the moment, we feel our team is big enough for what we can manage. But should we get more allowance to do more things, to visit more colonies, we would definitely have a second, third, fourth team if it was needed, if it was warranted.
Okay, there is a great question. There's a great question that I can't find that here about cutting the line. So the question is it our idea cutting the line? So how did this go down, Nadia?
Well, basically it started with Wall and Ellen writing an article in a magazine about the work we're doing. There was a lot of response to that. They were both in film, and they asked if they can come over and film a little bit for potential, more like a short story maybe. And they came over. They filmed a pitch deck, and we get approached by a lot of media companies to work with us and to shoot with us. But it's always our condition right from the start was that nothing is going to be scripted. They are just going to follow us, what we're doing. There's no being told to stand there, do that, like move there for the light. Ellen was running after us with the camera all the time. He didn't tell us where to go, what to do. And this was our sort of condition that this should not interrupt our work in any way. And after they created the pitch deck, there was just they got about 80 hours of footage in the first few days, and they were just they knew they had a big story, and we definitely did. There was a lot of back and forth about the end product, how we want the story told. For sure, it was very much a collaborative.
Yeah, there was some proper fistfights going on as well about in what direction the movie should go, because there's so many different angles that could have been picked, and for us it was always very, very important to keep it very authentic, and look in the end. And I know we're very spoiled when we read all your comments and the emails that we receive. It's all about heroes at work, and so I don't even want to say that, because essentially what we've created here in the last 3.5 years is we're very normal people. We're really just ordinary people, and somehow we managed to create something very extraordinary. But everybody sort of contributes, and that's something that's really important to us. Everybody can do something. Everybody can be part of the solution, and everybody has to be part of the solution. There is no superhero out there who can sort of magically fix the whole problem. The issue is there, and if we want it to be better, then everybody has to chip in, and that was very important. That's why we're roping our own children in so much. That's also why so many other people were talking in this movie. It's not just the Katja Nadia show. It's not just the 4 superheroes out there show. It's something that has the issue itself has so many different layers. And it's very difficult to cover all of that. And Ellen and Will from Nana Media, they've done such an amazing job that they had even us in tears when we watched the movie for the very first time. It was so we are very, very happy with that.
Nina is asking, what is the most amount of seals we've rescued in one day? The best day to total was 32 in one day at Cape Cross. We've had this year we've had a couple of good days already. We've had we actually in the span of a week we caught 71 seals in the last last week. It was very cool as well. We had Ellen joining us for a rescue day. He spent so much time in front of behind the camera, and we kept telling him this has been like his tutorial videos for the last time. We actually put him to practice, gave him a net, and we had a really good morning. We caught 16 seals between Ellen, Tony, and myself in the morning. It was really fun to have him on the other side of the camera for a change.
Okay, there's a lovely comment. I take everything back I just said about nobody in the team being extraordinary, because somebody said Denzel is not ordinary with his speed. And he's cringing right here. And unfortunately, you can't see that. We're going to have to set up better cameras in the future. But you're obviously right. Denzel is, he's the Flash. He gets to see us long before anybody else. So you're right. I apologize. So Denzel is definitely, Denzel is really something else. You can imagine how the rest of the team felt when they saw this for the very first time. So that was quite funny. We had a lot of internal chats about that, which was lovely. Okay, then I can't find the comment right now. Somebody commented that the movie will only be available for 3 days. We are not actually sure, to be honest. We are not sure. The premiere was meant to only go until tomorrow, but there is a rumor that unfortunately we have not been able to confirm with Plastic Oceans, but there is a rumor that the movie will actually stay online afterwards. I apologize for not actually being able to tell you what exactly is going on, but it's unfortunately not our movie. It's not our platform where the movie is being promoted. And if anything, we would actually very much like that, because not everybody has time to watch it this weekend. And we do hope that the movie will gain a little bit of momentum so that the big networks find out about it and start watching it. So I think there is a good chance that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the movie is actually still available. And we hope so.
Yeah. Somebody's asked, is there any chance the cleanup project operates out of the Atlantic enough to make a quick difference in your entanglement? So the ocean cleanup does not work in the Atlantic. The Atlantic does have a lot of rubbish, but we don't have these gyres, these garbage patches that you find in the Pacific and other places. And should they be working here, even off our coastline, it wouldn't make that much difference to our entanglements, because most of the gear that we are getting around the seals' necks is actually stuff that's been picked up off the bottom. It's stuff that is sunk to the bottom. Remember that how much? 90% of plastic does not, or rubbish in the ocean does not actually float. So it's amazing work being done by the ocean cleanup, but there's still so much stuff below the surface that's not being seen. And this is actually the things that are affecting our animals. Let's close it up.
Okay, let's take that comment out. What else? Which one? How many rescues?
Yeah. What's our numbers for you?
250. But I said that one.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Tony did say we're on 250 for the year.
So we actually are right. I'm not sure where the comment is, so I can't put it on the screen, unfortunately. So the question is, how is it best to help? Do you recommend we not eat fish? Yeah.
It is the simplest solution. If everybody stopped eating fish, then yes, it would make a massive difference. There would be no pressure on the ocean anymore. But for a lot of people, this is a cheap source of protein. It is a sustenance. It is also a major economy driver, everything else. So it's not that easy to say, no, stop eating fish. We do understand that. But there are a lot more sustainable fishing practices than there are good and bad fishing practices, or better and worse fishing practices, and it's very important to know the source of your fish, the way it's been caught, and trying to, if you want to eat fish, go and catch it yourself. It's going to be honestly the easiest thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, the issue is very complicated, and I do see the need that we address this a little bit more on social media as well. It was a little bit sort of our hope that in the future we can use our platform to do like slightly more targeted, almost podcast kind of type of videos where we address some very specific issues. We in our team, or at least us, not everyone, but we've made the decision when we started OCN to follow the vegan lifestyle, which is not always easy, and especially in a country like Namibia where you really struggle with alternatives. Because for us it was very difficult to spend so much time rescuing individual animals, and then you go home and eat one. But the issue is, especially in the fishing industry, a lot of the fish that's being caught is not actually meant for human consumption. A lot of the fish ends up as feed for other livestock, and that's actually absolutely dreadful as well. So there was a time when fishing was sustainable, and now at this stage it's not sustainable anymore. There's a whole different issue. I saw that coming up in the comments earlier as well. Somebody is following Namibian politics. As you might know, in Namibia we still have something every year it's called the seal harvest, or seal clubbing, or seal cull, or there are a lot of very colorful names for that as well. So there's a quota given out by the government for seal culling. It's what was the number usually? Do you know that?
80,000 pups, 6,000 bulls
every year. 80,000 seal pups and 6,000 seal bulls. And for the past years, it hasn't happened on that scale at all. It has only happened that seal bulls are being targeted, especially the prime examples, the prime seal bulls that should be there for breeding. They've been harvested for the genitalia for the Eastern markets, but the seal pups have not been targeted simply because there's nothing that the seal factories can do with it. They can't utilize the seals, and then so there was no reason anymore to take them out. But in Namibian politics, there's unfortunately a massive discussion at the moment that the seals are eating too much fish, and that the fishing industry is heavily affected by that. So that the bottom line is the seal is stealing our fish. Obviously, we disagree, because a seal will only eat as much fish as there is. It's us. We are the greedy ones. We just can't get enough of it, and that's absolutely dreadful. So on top of living in a plastic soup, seals are not even allowed to eat anymore. So that's absolutely dreadful. So there will be a lot happening in that line in Namibia, and the government is not very outspoken about those things. So we will have to find out what exactly is going on there. Yeah.
Somebody asked a question about mental health after rescues, and yeah, it's definitely a thing. You saw some very emotional responses from us after some of the rescues in cutting the line. It's hardcore. If you've been sitting on a seal for 45 minutes and it's taken every ounce of strength out of you, and or when you find a seal that's tied to his friend dead, it really does weigh heavily on you. It's not that easy to just walk away from it, but it's a good motivator to just keep coming back and keep doing what you're doing to prevent more of that happening. So yeah, I wouldn't say the good days by far surpass the bad days. And by good day, we just mean rescuing a lot of seals and knowing that we were actually making some sort of difference.
Okay, Mimosa, thank you for picking that up. A cat wants something in the background. That's right. Whatever's screaming there in the background is one of our.
Thanks.
It's one of our cats. I'm not sure which one. We are a rescue organization, so we've got 5 dogs and 7 cats in this house.
All of them rescues.
Yes, all of them rescues, and clearly they're not very excited about the service they're receiving in our house right now. And I guess we apologize. We will get to that as soon as we're done here. So yeah, you picked it up right. They might even walk past here somewhere along the line. Yes. Okay. What else have we got? The initiatives, a very good question. What are some of the most notable projects or initiatives you have recently worked on? The sea rescues are keeping us quite busy, to be honest.
We find we get invited and asked to do a lot of collaborative projects and things, but the work we're doing keeps us so busy here that we most of the time we focus on just rather doing one thing well. We're putting all our energy into our sort of job at hand, if you want to say, and there's always plans and hopes to do other things, and then we just find ourselves just dealing with our local seals. Our problem is not getting any better, and so we just keep ourselves pretty busy with it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice, Nadia. That's a question for you. What's the worst injury the rescuers have had on the job?
I can try and see there's a little bit of a cut and a bruise there. That was from Thursday. Got bitten through my nice jacket, which I was a little upset about, but seal made it. That was with Ellen. We've all had a couple of bites, some stitches, a few bad ones in some worrisome places before, but and not just seals. Tony got a stingray in the hand. Wally got his shoulder nearly dislocated by a whale flipper. So no, we have injuries. Nothing that keeps us out for more than a few days, and we're back to get back. We're happy we take it as a small price to pay for what we get to do.
Okay, there's a lovely question. Will Denzel be speaking? Oh, he's very scared and he's shaking his head.
Someone just needs to specifically direct a question to Denzel.
Yes, ask a question for Denzel, and we will ask him very nicely to come. Okay. Who got crushed by the whale?
Yeah, that was Wally. So
Wally.
There's one. If you slow-mo that clip, you'll see he's putting his arm up and his pectoral fin comes down and smashed him, and he had about 2 years of physio and biokinetics after that to try and sort that shoulder out. It didn't slow him down on the seal rescues, but it did cause an injury with a cool story at least.
You can see that on the cutting the line as well. If you put it on slow-mo, if that's even possible, you can see how it gets whacked right there, and it was a very dangerous situation. That whale rescue was incredibly special because whale rescues barely ever end like that. Most of them are very sad, and this one actually got a happy ending. You can hear the pure joy. Yes, there's a lovely question for Denzel. Where is it?
Maybe the favorite.
No, there. This one, huh?
No. Come on.
That one.
Favorite one.
Okay, Denzel, can you come up, please? Oh, I wish you could see him cringe there. I wish you could see that. We really need better cameras. Okay, there's a lovely question. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Oh no, where's the question now? Yeah. Hi, Denzel. How are you doing?
Denzel, yeah.
Okay.
No,
you can't even answer how he's doing, but you're doing fine, Denzel. Don't worry.
Yes, I'm doing fine. But
Denzel, do you have a favorite rescue you participated in? What has been your favorite rescue?
all of them are basically for me are very important because at the end of the day, it's you're helping an animal that can't help itself, and it's a very cruel and long death that this animal is exposed to. So there's no favorite one. It's actually not something we should be celebrating. It's or have favorites or best ones. At the end of the day, it all goes to the cause of actually saving animals that can't help themselves.
Sorry, Nadia just took a photo of this because it's very special. It just shows us that we've finally broken Denzel down, so he's happy to talk in front of the camera. Okay, Denzel, you can please ask this one as well. So when does your rescue day begin? How many hours per day does the team work? So how is a rescue morning? Just walk us through the rescue morning. How does it start?
So Pelican Point mornings, we would leave before sunrise. We'd get there by first light. Depending on how many seals are around at the moment, we try to not disturb the same groups too often. So we'll either do the outside of Pelican Bay or Pelican Point, and then on the next turn, we'll do the inside of Pelican Point. But on Cape Cross mornings, we would start off at about 5 o'clock, and we'll usually be back in town by roughly 2 o'clock. But Pelican Point days are a bit shorter. But then you still have all the cleaning and all Tony's talking and so on, and then you only get home by about 3, 4 o'clock. Yeah.
This is great.
Thanks.
Okay, there's one more question for Denzel. Don't run away. Okay, Denzel, did you run track while in school? Are you naturally a fast runner, or did you have to work on it? Why are you the Flash? How did it happen?
Not that one.
Running away
skip
from his
that
mother
one.
as well.
Okay, but just okay. Denzel has used up his words for today, which is fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Denzel. But just full disclosure, Denzel he's going a little bit more into long distance running at the moment. So he's preparing for some longer runs, and that is really awesome because that's something that we love very much ourselves. Most members in our team are actually long distance runners, and so we're very happy to have Denzel in there too. You know, I've got people giggling here, but it's not true. Everybody's quite into that. Oh, that's a lovely question, Adair. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the work you do?
I guess, yeah. Like we mentioned just now, there's some days that are really a lot harder than others, and sometimes you just think like there's no end to this, and at the moment it does seem like there's no end. But rather than seeing it as a negative thing, rather take it as like this gives us more incentive to keep doing what we're doing. It can be overwhelming, but rather just use that to fuel the fire to keep doing what we're doing. It's if we don't do it, no one else is going to step in. So we just need to keep on doing what we're doing. We just have to suck it up, I guess, and keep going.
Yeah, I'm normally I can't really go out on the rescues, first of all because I'm not needed there, and then I've got too much other things to do. So I catch the team after the rescues when they come back to HQ, and you can definitely see when there have been rescues that have been a little bit overwhelming. Usually it's the ones that are very long, that are very technical, and usually when the animal has been suffering a lot, those are definitely the rescues that are very overwhelming. So that is the rescue work itself. And then on the bigger issue, the actual work we're doing, the campaigning for more awareness. Definitely, we often feel overwhelmed because we're actually a fairly small organization with just a couple of people trying to make a difference, but there's so much need for this. So we get so many requests from film crews, from journalists from all over the world, and we are really, really grateful. But sometimes we feel there's a lot of pressure on us to fix the problem that we can't fix. We're just bringing attention to it. We're not fixing the problem one little bit. We're treating a few tiny little symptoms, like by no means all the symptoms, and that sometimes feels very overwhelming when we just come to work and we try our very best. And then to see this year again, the rescue team they're doing so well. They're way ahead of their numbers, and they're having record days out there at Pelican Point every day. So this is really great. But at the same time, you realize we've been doing this for so long and absolutely nothing is changing. I think the estimation is that by 2050, the amount of plastic in the ocean is going to triple. So where is it going to leave us? How many seals do we actually have to catch? And what about all the other animals that I think that's what's getting to me the most. Seals are lucky. Seals are not just in the ocean; they just come on land, and they've got a chance to be seen. But now think of all the other animals that don't have that chance. They're just below the surface, and their fate is absolutely sealed, and that's terrible. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just quickly, what is the beeping noise we often hear in the background? The rescues, I think that's normally GoPros turning on and off. 3 beeps for power on, 7 beeps for power off, and it's usually if a battery runs out or if somebody switches on or off in between. But I'm pretty sure that is the GoPro. Yeah, there's a question about the music on Cutting the Line. So we chose to use a local artist. He's singing in a local dialect called Damara. it's the clicking language, very similar to the San Bushman language, the same thing actually. And we were blown away by this guy's music. Zacharias Tsam, he actually played at our premiere the other day too. He's become a bit of a family friend by now, and we're sharing a link to his Instagram profile on the chat, and he's just brilliant. We love him. You should check him out. Zacharias Tsam. We got another question here about the reactions from the reactions for cutting the line from the Namibian public. So far, from everything we've heard, have been great. I guess we haven't spoken to many fishermen, but the reactions have been really good. Media, we've done a few interviews beforehand regarding cutting the line, but we have not actually yet done any interviews since. I'm sure this will all come in the aftermath of people actually watching the movie.
Okay, there's another comment that's unrelated to cutting the line, but a very important issue for us. However, how do you cope when the culling begins? It's horrible. The whole thing is absolutely horrible. First of all, it doesn't happen at Pelican Point. It only happens at Cape Cross. So our seals that we see most of the time, they're actually protected. At Cape Cross, it is dreadful. It's a nature reserve, so we sort of feel that there shouldn't be any hunting happening anyways. And the Cape Cross is closed for the public, which includes us, until usually 10 o'clock, until the culling crew has left. So Nadia, how does it work when you get there? And you know.
No, we know we've stopped going on during the harvest time. It's obviously a sore point for us because we know there's still a lot of entangled animals, but we get there, they are very stressed out there. You can see these animals are really not happy. They're extremely skittish, tense, and we just do not want to cause them any unnecessary extra stress in that time. So it's just, we sort of write off that time. Once it starts, then it's stop time for us at Cape Cross. Unfortunately, those animals are not happy, and we just don't feel right causing any extra stress to them in that state.
Okay, there's another question. I can't find it right now, but the question is, Nadia, what collaborations do you have with other organizations or government entities? What other collaborations do we actually have?
So we're part of we're part of the Pinniped Entanglement Group. It's a global community. I think there's over 150 members, people doing similar kind of work all over the world, which we and then not direct collaborations, but we've got people like Greg in Seattle. There's a lot of people to name. We've got specialists we can reach out to, people that actually reach out to us for advice as well, and
but locally as well, huh? We've got
locally we do work with the Ministry of Fisheries to be allowed. We've been helping them with catching seals, weighing pups, and things like this. We do scat sample collections for them when they can't get out there. There are a few different things we do with in terms of big international collaborations. Nothing directly, but again, we're so busy on our own, just trying to keep up with our own amount of seals to be caught, that we're just trying to put most of our focus on that, I think.
Yeah, we are a fairly small team, so we just always we have to see how much we can actually get done. It's always very easy to commit to something, and then you just can't keep it up. And our focus definitely needs to be a little bit more on the Namibian side. There are a couple of organizations here: the Namibian Dolphin Project, the Namibian Nature Fund. So there are a couple of
Snakes
people.
of Namibia.
Snakes of Namibia. That's right. They're not necessarily a marine conservation agency, but they're doing fabulous work. So we are quite linked, and there's a lot of communication all the time.
Desert Lion Trust,
the Desert Lion Trust. You must definitely check out their work. And their work is really important on a very personal level, because whenever the team goes up north, they call the Desert Lion people first to make sure that there are no lions in the area. So,
we don't want a lion encroaching us on the beach while we don't want a lion stalking us while we're stalking seals. We're not as fast as Denzel. He knows he's safe, but we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've got, the answer is we've got quite a few collaborations, and you must always keep in mind that Namibia is a third world country, so there is no government funding available whatsoever. I just want to quickly point that out. I see that there's a lot of money being donated to us right now during this chat, and I just really want to say thank you so much. We are entirely dependent on people like you. There's no help coming from everyone else. All our help, almost I would say 99%, comes from outside the country. And it's absolutely amazing to see that people who've never been to Namibia, will never come here, care so much about our seals and the issue, that you're actually willing to donate money to it. So thank you very much for that. Our work is possible because of you. Our funding is secure for quite a while, and it's secure enough that we're looking at other projects in the future as well to see what else we can do to really make a difference. So thank you. A very, very heartfelt thank you.
Was it like filming, being near the baby seals during Christmas? So it was a very special time for us seeing the pups. Besides the fact that we can't do that many rescues, we love to just go out there and monitor. Katja and I love to take the kids out there. We've become really good at stalking in really slowly, going into the groups without causing any disturbance. And something really special. There's nothing cuter than a baby seal that's 3 or 4 weeks old that's just learning to find his feet and walk around. And they're incredible little animals.
They're very sweet, and you can see they're like vegetables, really cute vegetables. They don't move around much. There's nothing they can do. They're very easy targets for predators, which is at that stage actually mainly human beings that come there, and they get too close, and then they chase the seals away. So that's always a bit of a difficult situation. But besides that, they're just very, very, very cute, really sweet, like little puppies, very cute.
So another question here. When we find entangled animals who have died, do you free them as well? Yes, always. Whenever we have any opportunity to pick up anything on the beach that can cause an entanglement, we don't do a full beach cleanup every day. Otherwise, we wouldn't actually get to the seals. But especially anything with a loop, a bundle of fishing line, even ones that haven't come off the seals, we will pick up. We always come home with a lot more rubbish than just the seals we've disentangled. And yeah, we definitely do not leave anything on any seal. That is, it's not going to happen. As we are sort of getting to the end of our chat here, we'll still take 1 or 2 more quick ones, but we are nearly reaching our time limit here on the platform.
Okay, Linda, it's not really a question. It's more a comment. Seeing the seal in the net having trouble diving and swimming and cutting the line really showed what entangled seals have to deal with even in the water. Yes, very much so. This was brilliant footage for the movie because when the seals come to the beach, you don't see that part of their struggle. But you can imagine when you've got a net wrapped around you like that, you can't hunt anymore. You can barely breathe. You can't be as fast. You can't move around like you usually do. So you're gonna starve to death probably long before you even suffocate. And it's a dreadful situation. And the same thing happens to dolphins and turtles and a lot of shark species and fish species and sawfish. And it's such a long list. It's really bad. So we are grateful about that footage and cutting the line because it provides very strong images. It's hard to forget.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. It's the last question we're taking. No, it's gone. It's about. Yeah. Okay, that's a. Can you put medicine to sleep when it's difficult to remove the strings? So I think it's a question more about anesthetics, and that sort of falls into antibiotics as well.
Yeah, it's very difficult. We get a lot of questions about bringing in vets, medicine, things like that. We are not vets ourselves. If we had to get into full cleaning and that on the wounds, we would get down to literally 1 rescue a day, I think. We trust in the power of salt water. We've been advised by some friends and doing this kind of thing that salt water is actually the best thing at the end of the day for the animals. Some animals could probably benefit from vets and things, and I think putting them to sleep or anesthesia is a very technical thing. It's not a simple thing. You need a whole team of people to administer something like this, and we find the most effective we can be with dealing so many animals is just to get them done through. We get them in the net, whereas anesthetics would just be would make things a lot more complicated from our side. It might happen with us in the future that we get vet teams in to do this, but for us, it's just about trying to get as many animals helped as we can.
Okay, there's one more question. How's the OCN bank account coming in the USA? It's there. Just for a little bit of a background, what is actually our status at this stage? OCN, Ocean Conservation Namibia, is a charitable trust in Namibia. So we've got trustees and we've got accountants, and it's approved through the High Court. So we are properly registered organization. Now we had this request for a long time if you can register under Chapter 501c3 in the US for tax deductions, and we have been approved last year November already. So we are actually a recognized charity in the US as well, and we were so excited about it. Little did we know that it didn't end there. It was very complicated for us to set up the rest because Lydia and myself, we are board members. So we had to sort out international tax identification numbers and a whole bunch of other things that I think at some stage we're going to have to travel to the US just to finalize everything. Yeah, so we are working on it. The last few weeks have been all so busy with cutting the line. But it is our priority for the next week to sort it all out. So our status is all right, and the bank account is it looks like we've got that as well. So we just need to set up all the rest. We have been told as well by one of our board members that we need special insurance, indemnity insurance, just to be safe, because it is still the US, and there's always a chance of being sued for things we are not aware of. And we don't want that. But we're working on that, and we do believe that will help us a lot with funding and increasing our outreach as well. So that's just a little update on that side.
Guys, it's time for us to wrap it up. We thank you so much for all the interaction, the engagement this evening. It's been really, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all the super chat donations. It's been really phenomenal. If we did not get to your question, we're really sorry. You can always drop us a mail, send us a message, and we will try and get to you. If you've got something that's really on your heart that you want us to answer, we will get back to that at a later stage. But thank you so much, and wishing you all the rest of the Cutting the Line / World Oceans Day weekend. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you.
Bye.
And there, we need to push that button.